What's going on, guys? This is your channel TFD coming back with another video. And oh man, it looks like Napheesa Collier has finally broken her silence after all the heat she and Breanna Stewart been catching lately. For this one, we're heading straight to New York City because things just got even messy, eh? Let's get it. Let's go. Guys, what a wild day in the WNBA world. Napheesa and Stewie are in some deep water with fans all across the country. Social media is absolutely on fire right now. And why? Because folks are saying these two might be trying to force a lockout. Yep, you heard that right. A full-blown WNBA lockout. Now, for those who don't know, the current CBA situation in the WNBA is basically in limbo. The players' union and the league have been going back and forth, trying to hammer out a new deal, and nothing has been locked in yet. I've been keeping tabs on this whole thing ever since the players decided they weren't rocking with that old agreement anymore. And now, here we are. Last week, word came out that Breanna Stewart, along with other key board members, rejected an offer from the WNBA owners. And I told y'all, these owners have been pouring money into this league for years. And let's keep it real, they haven't seen much return. Now, some folks are acting like that's no big deal. But imagine you dropping millions of dollars to support something that barely breaks even. You'd feel some kind of way too. That said, do I believe WNBA players deserve more money? Absolutely. No question. These women are elite athletes, role models, and ambassadors for the sport. There's no reason rookies should be making $70,000 to $80,000 a year. The league max shouldn't be $230,000, bro. That's just wild. I mean, come on, folks in tech are making that in their 20s. But here's where it gets dicey. Breanna came out and said she's frustrated by the offers they've been getting, basically called it a slap in the face. And she's not alone. Satu Sabali also went public and echoed those same frustrations. But now people are digging deeper, saying some of these players have an extra motive. They're saying there's a connection between Unrivaled and the push for a lockout. Now that's a serious allegation. Some fans are speculating that if the WNBA locks out, it would actually benefit Unrivaled, since some of the board members in the Players' Union are also involved in running that league. Basically, they're suggesting the move could force players to go play there, growing that brand instead. Now media heads are saying, oh, Unrivaled can't survive without the WNBA. But honestly, I'm not sure about that. Unrivaled is backing. It's got visibility. It's got momentum. I mean, it's not like they need the WNBA to function. That league is carving its own lane, whether folks like it or not. Anyway, this situation is far from over. There's clearly tension on both sides. The players want more respect and money, and the owners want stability and ROI. But if this thing heads toward a lockout, oof, that's going to change the entire landscape of women's basketball. Now look, before we dive into all the bells and whistles of this situation, there's something I want to show y'all real quick. This tweet right here. Yeah, this one's been going absolutely viral, blowing up timelines all across the internet since early this morning. Let's pull this up and take a look. Now, just read that. Let's sink in for a second. This ain't just some random post. Nah, this tweet has sparked major reactions from fans, players, even media folks. It's got people talking, quote tweeting, arguing, you name it. And once you see what it says, you'll understand why. Now, I'm not going to say too much right now. I want y'all to see it for yourselves. But trust me, this tweet might just be the match that lit the fire under this whole controversy. So, Evelyn DR, she was the one who kind of broke all this down. She said, so let me get this straight. Breanna Stewart is WNBPA president. Napheesa Collier is VP. They co-founded Unrivaled, a league that benefits if there's a WNBA lockout. And they're the ones leading CBA negotiations. How do you negotiate in good faith? Eyes. Make it make sense. Now this right here? Yeah, this one's been going viral all over the internet, bro. And honestly, I gotta agree with them on this one. I really do. So the tweet pointed out that Alyssa Clark is the vice president. And yup, Breanna Stewart is a VP too. And look, I gotta keep it real here. She's making a solid point. Then she comes back and says, don't be ridiculous. That was clearly a mistake on my part. I corrected it as soon as I noticed. But regardless, both of them, Alyssa and Breanna, are locked in as vice presidents. Ain't no way around it. And then she clarified again, like, Correction, Breanna and Alyssa are both VPs. Neck is the president. But at this point, bro, president, vice president, it don't even matter. They got real power behind the scenes, and that's the bottom line. So now here we are, and this is where things start getting real messy. So yeah, this is where we're at right now. And then boom, Napheesa Collier decides to step in and say this. So let me get this straight. While everyone else was enjoying fireworks, you were thinking about how me and Stewie, of all people, are conspiring to force a lockout that would result in less money year-round for WNBA players? Face with monocle, face with tears of joy, face with tears of joy, face with tears of joy. That's what Napheesa said like an hour ago. Now look, I don't know if she's trying to be funny or just brush it off, but Evelyn DR, she's definitely got some weight behind her story, bro. There's merit to what she's saying, because honestly, it's looking real spooky for Napheesa right now. And some of the stuff she liked, like this tweet right here, it went viral instantly, bro, instantly. Ken Swift said, "I didn't take her post as saying anyone was conspiring. I think the post was saying it could be a conflict of interest. Definitely a conflict of interest. Definitely. Definitely is." Somebody said, "Look, Evelyn is clearly over the top and wrong on some basic facts. But you owning a league that wants the same talent pool is inherently a conflict of interest. What happens when the owners say they'll pay more, but they demand exclusivity on talent? Suddenly you're picking between which league you're going to help. You have a fiduciary duty to Unrivaled. What happens when they say they won't pay more and you should just pay them yourself with the money from Unrivaled?" Others said, "You guys are in the middle of big-time negotiations to ensure everyone in the league benefits. Folks will say anything. Folks will say anything." Nah, bro, this ain't just folks saying stuff. There ain't no random folks. These are the same people who literally own the league. Like, bro, this is a straight-up conflict of interest. And if you don't see that, you probably never ran a business or owned one, cause Unrivaled ain't just some side project, they got real skin in the game. Unrivaled is a competitor to the WNBA. Bro, let's just call it what it is. They're not just some side hustle league. They're a direct competitor. And here's where it gets wild. The same people who helped build the WNBA, who sit on the board and call shots, are also vice presidents and founders of Unrivaled. How is that not a conflict of interest? Make it make sense, bro. Right now it's a 3-on-3 league, cool, whatever. But let's not act like they're going to stop there. They'll go 4-on-4, 5-on-5, maybe even start full-blown seasons. And who's at the top of both leagues? The same exact people. This is why folks don't take the WNBA seriously. It's stuff like this that makes the league look sloppy. I want to believe they're fighting for the players, negotiating in good faith, trying to make the right moves. But at the same time, come on now. We need real answers here. Because what if this is all a setup? What if they're low-key trying to force a lockout? You really think Unrivaled is going to stay from just January to March if the WNBA shuts down? Nah, bro. They're going to stretch that thing out. Let the WNBA lock out tomorrow. I bet you Unrivaled goes full season. January to October. Facts. And if you don't think that's the plan, you're not paying attention. So get in the comments. Let me know how y'all feel about this situation, man. Turn those bells on. Hit that like button, smash that subscribe, and I'll catch y'all in the next one.